Okay, so here's the whole thing, rewritten super simple. Like, I'm just chatting with you over snacks, telling you the tea about Kevin Costner spilling the real deal on Robert Redford at 70. At 70, Kevin Costner finally tells the truth about Robert Redford. Kevin Costner was born Kevin Michael Costner on January 18th, 1955, in Linwood, California. Kevin Michael Costner grew up in a normal working-class family. His dad, William Costner, worked as an electrician and later for a power company, while his mom, Sharon Ray, had a job helping people on welfare. He was the youngest of three boys, and Kevin's childhood had a lot of moving around because of his dad's job. All those moves taught him how to roll with changes, stand on his own, and keep going no matter what, stuff that totally shows up in the way he acts and lives. Ever since he was little, Costner loved stories and being creative. He never dreamed of being a movie star, though. He went to California State University, Fullerton, and studied marketing and finance. It was only in his last couple years of college that he figured out he was crazy about acting. He met the actor Richard Burton on a plane one day, and that random moment totally changed his life. Costner went all in, started taking acting classes, doing tiny theater shows, and working random jobs just to pay bills. He kept pushing, super believing in himself, and it finally worked. Kevin Costner didn't blow up overnight. It took a long time and a ton of hard work. At first, he only got tiny parts. One of his first big chances was when director Lawrence Kasdan put him in The Big Chill in 1983. His scenes got cut from the movie, but Kasdan loved how natural Costner was and gave him a real role in Silverado in 1985. That's when people finally started noticing him. That movie opened doors, and soon he was in a bunch of hits playing the classies. See, tough but good American guy, rough around the edges, honest and strong without bragging. The late 80s and early 90s were his golden time. He was awesome in The Untouchables in 1987 and became a real leading man. Then Bull Durham in 1988 and Field of Dreams in 1989 made everybody know his name. Those movies were all about doing the right thing, second chances, and what makes us human, stuff audiences loved. Then came Dances with Wolves in 1990, the movie that pretty much made his legend. Costner starred in it, directed it, and produced it. It was huge. It won 7 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director, and locked him in movie history forever. He had the guts to tell a big story about Native American people with real heart and respect, and that raised the bar for Hollywood. All through the 90s, he kept killing it at the box office with big historical movies and love stories like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves in 1991, JFK in 1991, The Bodyguard in 1992, and Wyatt Earp in 1994. The Bodyguard blew up worldwide. He starred with Whitney Houston, and it became one of the most famous romance movies ever. The soundtrack with I Will Always Love You is still one of the best-selling albums of all time and made Costner even bigger. Yeah, he had a couple flops like Waterworld in 1995 and The Postman in 1997. People complained about the huge budgets, but everybody still respected him for trying big things and taking chances. Besides movies, Kevin Costner is actually super talented in other ways too. He's a real musician and the lead singer of his band, Kevin Costner Modern West, a country rock group that's toured all over the world. His songs are about love, heartbreak, and the wild American West, same honest vibe he brings to acting. Lately, he's had a huge comeback playing John Dutton on the TV show Yellowstone from 2018 until now. He plays the tough, complicated ranch dad in Montana, and it's won him tons of new fans and great reviews, proves the guy still has it at full power. Off camera, Costner's life is pretty real and down to earth. He has 7 kids and always says being a dad is one of the best parts of his life. People know him as humble and generous. He helps a bunch of charities, especially stuff for the environment and kids. Even with all the fame, he never got caught up in the crazy Hollywood lifestyle. He'd rather chill on his ranch, play music, and hang with family than walk red carpets or be in gossip magazines. Kevin Costner's love life has been just as interesting as his movies. He was married twice, first to Cindy Silva, then to Christine Baumgartner, and both marriages were big chapters for him. Both relationships shaped him a ton and showed how hard it is to juggle fame, family, and growing as a person when you're a star for decades. Kevin Costner's first wife was Cindy Silva, his college girlfriend from California State University, Fullerton. They got married in 1978, way before he was famous. Cindy wasn't just there cheering. She kept him grounded when he was struggling and nobody knew if he'd make it. Costner always says she helped him stay focused when giving up would have been easy. They had 3 kids together, Annie, Lily, and Joe, while his career took off. In the 80s and early 90s, when he was blowing up with Dances with Wolves, Field of Dreams, and The Bodyguard, Cindy was right there with him at premieres, looking like the steady rock in all the Hollywood craziness. But the more famous he got, the harder it was on their marriage. He was away shooting for months, and all the celebrity pressure started breaking things. In 1994, after 16 years, they got divorced. It was all over the news and cost him a reported $80 million, one of the biggest Hollywood divorces ever back then. Even though it hurt, both of them put the kids first and stayed respectful. Costner later said that time made him think hard about life. He learned a lot about love, staying loyal, and what success really costs a family. 10 years later, he fell in love again, this time with Christine Baumgartner, a gorgeous model and handbag designer almost 20 years younger. They actually met back in the 90s but didn't start dating for real until the early 2000s. Tabloids and fans were side-eyeing the age gap and wondering if he was ready for something serious again. But their connection was real. Christine brought calm and happiness back into his world. They broke up for a little bit because she wanted kids and he wasn't sure, but they got back together when they realized their love was bigger than the worry. They married in September 2004 at his ranch in Aspen, Colorado. It was cozy but fancy, total cowboy meets Hollywood vibe. Together they had 3 kids, Caden, Hayes, and Grace, bringing his total to 7. Being a dad again in his 50s gave him new energy. He talked all the time about how much he loved his family and how Christine helped him slow down and enjoy the little things. For almost 20 years they seemed perfect together. Red carpets, supporting each other, the whole thing. Christine was right there with him when Yellowstone got huge and he played the tough ranch dad John Dutton, basically living the same Western family life on screen. But then in 2024, after almost 20 years married, Costner and Baumgartner shocked everyone by splitting up. The divorce was everywhere in the news. Fans couldn't believe another forever Hollywood couple was done. They kept the details private, but people close to them said his crazy filming schedule, plus his huge passion project Horizon and American Saga, put too much pressure on the marriage. Even with the sadness, both Costner and Baumgartner said the kids come first and they'll always respect each other. Kevin Costner has always been the key. He quiet, classy type, lets his work do the talking instead of chasing drama. But when he hit 70, the Oscar-winning actor-director decided to finally open up about one of the biggest influences in his. Their lives have crossed personally and professionally for years. Redford was like a mentor and a guy who totally got him. Fans have wondered forever what the real deal was between these two legends. Now Costner is finally telling the truth, and it's sweet. In a heartfelt interview, he said his respect for Redford goes way beyond normal actor admiration. Robert wasn't just someone I looked up to, he showed me what it really means to take big risks, Costner said. He has this calm power that pulls you in without trying. Watching him made me see that telling stories isn't just acting, it's about having a real reason behind it. That clicked for Costner early when he was still trying to make it in Hollywood, and Redford was already a huge star known for being classy, smart, and doing things his own way. Costner says Redford directing ordinary people made him want to direct too. I remember thinking, that's what I want to do, tell stories that actually matter, he said. He proved you can be an actor and still control the big picture. Things got even more personal when Redford wanted Costner for A River Runs Through It in the early 90s. The part ended up going to Brad Pitt, but the talks they had were some of the most important of Costner's career. Robert told me the movie wasn't really about fishing or Montana. It was about dads and sons and all the stuff guys find hard to say, Costner remembered. That hit home and reminded me of my own dad. Their friendship wasn't about fancy parties. It was about the same values. Both of them love nature more than Hollywood lights. Redford started the Sundance Institute. Costner built his ranch in Colorado. They're both obsessed with the American West. Robert and I talk way more about the West than about movies, Costner laughed. We both feel like it's alive and it shaped who we are. Costner also respects Red EF, Ord for never selling out. In a world that wants you to play it safe, Robert always stood for something, independent movies giving new people a shot. That honesty is super rare. Costner says Redford's courage gave him the guts to make Dances with Wolves when nobody thought it would work. I thought, if Robert can bet on himself, so can I, he said. He made me believe following your gut is worth it every time. Even now, Costner still hears Redford's calm voice in his head when he directs, telling him to slow down and find the real truth. He never bossed me around, but somehow made everything clearer. Their friendship is one of those rare Hollywood things. No jealousy, just respect. People love to make actors compete, but with Robert there was never that, Costner said. We were just two dudes trying to tell stories that actually mean something. As he gets older, Costner sees Redford as the perfect example of what an artist should be, real, kind, and brave. I owe him a ton, Costner said quietly. If any movie I made ever touched somebody and made them feel something true, it's because guys like Robert Redford showed me how. For Kevin Costner, the truth about Robert Redford is simple but huge. He wasn't just a Hollywood icon. He was a teacher, a pioneer, and a friend who helped make Costner the man he is today. Robert taught me success isn't about being famous, Costner said. It's about staying honest, standing behind your work, and never forgetting why you fell in love with telling stories in the first place. At 70, Costner's words feel heavy with everything he's lived. It's a beautiful thank you to a friendship that lasted through time, fame, and bright lights, built on respect, the same dreams, and loving the job that made them who they are.